This program is made by MPT to serve all of our diverse communities and is made possible by the generous support of our members. Thank you.
During tonight's special presentation of Ways to Pay for College, financial aid advisors are here at MPT to answer your phone calls and questions. For the next hour, if you need help figuring out the FAFSA, grants, scholarships, or other kinds of college financial aid, call them at 1-800-222-1292 at any time during the program. Again, that number is 1-800-222-1292 for free advice on how you can find money for college. Our college financial aid advisors are standing by right now, so give them a call at 1-800-222-1292. We are here live at Anne Arundel Community College, and welcome to a special presentation of Ways to Pay for College. I'm Yolanda Vasquez. Well, it's September, and by now schools have been back in session for several weeks. If you're a high school senior, perhaps you have visited some college campuses like this one and decided it was right for you. Or maybe you're more than a few years beyond high school and still want to pursue that degree, and the time to do it is right now. Have you given any thought as to how you're going to pay for it? Are grants or scholarships possible? And is borrowing money a good idea? If you have questions, this show can help you find answers. Let's take a look at the phone number on your screen. Not only do we have an information-packed hour ahead, we also have a live phone bank of college financial aid advisors ready for you. You can call 1-800-222-1292 during the entire program. Are you struggling with the FAFSA? Do you need some terms explained? Don't know all the deadlines? Well, the people you see right here can help you, and it's all for free. Simply call the number on the bottom of your screen, 1-800-222-1292. Well, we'll be back in a moment with some terrific guests, but right now, let's go visit with Mario Armstrong as we figure out all the ways to pay for college.
Do you ever imagine your future and wonder, how am I going to fit in, and what career path lies ahead for me? There are many cool careers you can prepare for, whether you're a high school student or an adult ready for something new. But to get into those jobs, first you have to go to college, and that's going to cost you some money. The good news is that there are billions of dollars of financial aid that you can apply for.
There's also a lot of information on how to get those billions. Enough information to make you dizzy.
I'm Mario Armstrong, and I'm here to keep your head from spinning. Going to college is like life, full of twists and turns, as well as ups and downs.
Join me for an adventure on how to find money to pay for the higher education you want. We'll talk to the pros and hear some student success stories and help you think about what school is right for you, what fits your budget, and do the financial aid numbers add up?
Hold on tight and enjoy the ride, because we're going to show you ways to pay for college.
Ways to Pay for College is produced in cooperation with the Maryland Higher Education Commission and was made possible in part by a grant from the United States Department of Education. Additional support for this program is provided by the Eastern Shore Higher Education Center.
If there's one thing that can get your heart racing, it's thinking about your future and how to achieve your goals.
To achieve those goals, you need proper training. And there are plenty of colleges that could be just right for you. But it seems like every year, the cost of college is going up, up, and up.
Am I really going through with this?
Maybe I am crazy.
I don't think I'm gonna make it.
Of course you're going to make it. Now take a deep breath and relax. And if you're worried about paying for college, you're not alone.
But before we get to talking about the green, let's get real about you for a moment. You want to go to college, but do you know what you want to do for a living yet? And does the cost of the colleges you're interested in make financial sense for your career?
I think it's important that before a student takes a look at the financial aspects of financial aid is really kind of ask themselves, what is it they want to do? Are they looking for a big school, a small school? What are the types of programs they're looking for? So that when they get to figuring out how to pay for the school or the program that they're looking for, they have an idea of what it is they want to do and how to get there first.
There's a lot to think about. What school to attend, what you'll study, and how much financial aid you'll be eligible for. Will you need to get a student loan too? And should you?
Recent reports say that student loan debt has topped $1 trillion. That's trillion with a T.
We've all been hearing a lot about the student loan crisis, and for the students that have a lot of debt, it definitely is a crisis for them. At the same time, what a lot of people don't realize is that almost 1 out of 3 students graduate with no debt. So people have a choice as they're thinking about college, as they're deciding what college to go to, how much it will cost, how much they're willing to spend, and how much debt they choose to get into.
A student should first contact their financial aid administrator at the institution they're planning to attend. Ask them questions pertaining to student loans on what amount of money they actually need in order to attend that institution. So that way, they're only taking out the amount of money that they need in order to attend and not an excess amount, which will increase their student loan debt when they graduate.
How are you going to pay for college? It's time for some research. There are many places online that you can access right now. But don't forget the old school way, simply talking to someone.
I always suggest to students to speak to their guidance counselor in their high school. They can chat with the financial aid office at a college that they're considering attending. If they have a mentor or someone that has been instrumental in encouraging them to go to college. If you put all of those opinions and input together, it can give you a really good blueprint of where to look for information. And your parents can be alongside of you while you're learning these things as well.
Well, there are a number of ways that students and their families can find more information on college and financial aid. One, the Maryland Higher Education Commission offers a free service where we come to college fairs, college night and FAFSA nights, and provide a presentation on college and on the state financial aid programs. Two, students can also visit College Go with Maryland's website to find out different locations. College Go with Maryland offers one-on-one FAFSA assistance for students and their families. So whether or not they're English or Spanish speaking, they can receive the help that they may need from a financial aid professional.
Websites are key to research. The federal government's main information page on financial aid is located at studentaid.ed.gov. For Maryland residents, visit mdgoforit.org or the Maryland Higher Education Commission's main website at mhec.maryland.gov. And there are others, such as fastweb.com and finaid.org.
Okay, so you've got a plan of action, you have a list of schools you want to apply to, and you've done all your research. So where is this magical money going to come from? There are 4 primary sources.
They are the federal government, your state government, the institution to which you are applying, and private sources, such as corporations and nonprofit organizations.
Federal, state, institutions, and private. So the question is, where do you get started? The FAFSA. The FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid, and it can be found on a website that's easy to remember, fafsa.gov. It's the first step in applying for financial assistance.
The application itself is comprised of both demographic information, so biographical information, name of the student, social security number, date of birth for both the student and for the parents, if the parents are filling out the FAFSA as well, and also financial information. So the application takes a look at a combination of different factors, both family size, income, all of that information, and it comes out with a result for what a student is going to be eligible for federal financial assistance, and that figure is also used for state funding or sometimes for institutional funding.
For those students who are not familiar with the process, and you may be a first-generation student or just completely oblivious to the process, it can be overwhelming. But the best thing to do is to take the time to read everything through before you actually complete the whole entire process and click submit.
Remember, that first F in FAFSA stands for free. Now look, there are other websites out there preying on your need for money, so make sure you're on the right site.
Students should not be paying somebody to help them fill out that application. The Department of Education website has a lot of information and helpful tips as you're completing that application, frequently asked questions. But if students or families are having difficulty filling out the FAFSA, they really should be reaching out to colleges or universities or even their guidance counselors.
My name is Antonio Gardner.
My name is Antoine Gardner.
We're twins.
I knew I wanted to go to college when I was in 11th grade. I have an interest in technology, so I kind of want to go into computer engineering, but I also have a love for people and business.
In addition to my brother, I also wanted to attend college, but I knew that the cost of college was more than what I personally could afford. Student loans were not an option for my brother and myself. We made it a mission of ours to inquire and receive as many scholarships and grants to cover the cost of our tuition.
My search for financial aid began when I was getting ready to enter into my senior year of high school. My advisor introduced the entire senior class to the FAFSA. We got a preview of what it was and what it would contain and what we had to do to fill it out.
We sat down and we filled out all the information. I got all the information I needed from my parents and provided all the information I would need to fill it out successfully.
Antoine and Antonio were great. They completed their FAFSA the first day that it's available. They were able to qualify for state aid, additional federal aid. They reached out to their delegate and senators and were able to complete scholarships through them. They also came into the financial aid office and received federal work study through the institution and were able to get additional money doing that.
If we click in cell G13.
Those who are trying to obtain money for college should not give up hope because their money is available to them.
I love working with students, especially like Antoine and Antonio, who are on top of their stuff. They get it done, and we're able to help them as much as possible. When a student is on top of their stuff, we can help them out even more.
We're live here on the campus of Anne Arundel Community College. And not only do we have a ton of information to help you find money for school, we also have these fantastic students applauding your efforts to get ready for college. Yes, there they are. I love it. Hello, I'm Yolanda Vasquez, and we hope you're enjoying our special presentation of Ways to Pay for College. If you've learned a thing or two so far, then please stick with us because we still have more great information to come. And don't forget, during this entire program, we have a phone bank of college financial aid advisors waiting to take your calls and answer your questions. Did you miss something or need it to be explained? Well, just pick up the phone and call our group here at 1-800-222-1292. Is there a website you need or a deadline you don't want to miss? Well, call them. The number is listed on your screen. Well, with me right now is Tara Carew, a financial aid advisor here at Anne Arundel Community College. Tara, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Yolanda.
So what is the biggest mistake that you see from students who are trying to apply for financial aid?
Yeah, we actually see two common mistakes when we work with students. The first mistake is that they will often wait until it's a bit late in the application process. Many of the schools have deadlines that we need to be aware of, and applying late really rushes the process when we start looking at getting additional documentation turned in to have a complete financial aid application.
What's late? Give me an idea.
Late.
Your late might be different from my late.
My late is going to be very different from maybe, for example, a four-year university. But late for us would mean, when we start getting closer to registration time and students want to register for classes and they want to have the aid in place so they know how much money do I need to put towards this education and how much money am I actually receiving in grant aid, or how much money do I need to put aside for maybe in student loans, to turn in an application for student loans. So I would say for us, we just want to say give it make sure you have enough time, maybe a couple of weeks, so that when you go into the registration process, you're ready to go. So at least a few weeks before the registration system opens.
Excellent. Let's talk about the FAFSA. Remind me again, what's the cost, and do students have to do it again if they did it last year?
Oh, very good question. The FAFSA is actually free. It's the free application for federal student aid. And yes, the students do need to do that application every year. From year to year, the student's situation may change, household size may change, income may change. Also on the FAFSA, you get to put down the number of schools or different schools that you're interested in applying. And on that application, it gives you the opportunity to change. For example, if you're transferring to a different school.
So once a student submits the FAFSA, what's the next step in terms of finding out how much they'll receive in terms of financial aid, or even if they'll receive financial aid?
Yeah, absolutely. So when a student turns in a FAFSA, it's really the first step in applying for federal aid. So the next step is to make sure you're receiving the information from your school. So for example, here at AACC, we want to make sure that the students are logged into their student portal. They're receiving their AACC emails, because the financial aid office will contact them through the email and let them know if there's any additional documentation that they're missing, or, for example, they need to come in and speak to a financial aid advisor.
Do you have to be a full-time student to get financial aid?
That's an excellent question. So no, you don't have to be a full-time student to get financial aid. Every type of aid is actually slightly different. For example, if you're receiving a student loan, you'll need to be enrolled in at least 6 credits. But if you're receiving the Pell Grant, then the aid that you're receiving is actually going to be based on the number of credits that you're enrolled in. Now, if you're receiving a scholarship, they may have a very specific minimum number of credits that you'll need to have. And in that case, we always make sure that we say to the student, please make sure you know what's on your financial aid package and you know what the requirements are for each type of aid.
So there's a lot of information that they have to keep track of.
They do.
I want to talk a little bit about the fact that once they're entering school, they're typically turning 18. And this can be a little tricky because, from what I understand, the bill is most likely in the student's name and not the parents'. Is the information still kept there in terms of your parents' info?
Exactly. So when you turn 18, of course, your bill is the student's bill. It's your bill. But the aid package, you are actually considered a dependent student until you reach the age of 24. This means that your parents' financial information will need to be included on your FAFSA. Now, there are some exceptions to that. For example, if you are married or you have children that you're supporting, or possibly active duty military.
What are some creative ways the students have found money in order to be able to go to AACC?
Yeah, absolutely. We have some students who are very creative.
I like those students.
They are. And they will actually first hit their local resources. They will look to their high schools, sometimes their employers. Religious organizations will often have scholarships for students. And then we'll find that the students are also on campus, so they're visiting their department and asking if they're looking for any federal work-study students on campus. They will fill out our scholarship application and go in the running for over 200 scholarships here on campus.
Wow, that's a great big number, 200.
It is.
Tell us a little bit more about your institutional scholarships.
Sure. We actually have a very interesting process because we have one scholarship application, which is online, and it puts the students in the applicant pool for over 200 scholarships, almost $1 million in funding. So when the students fill out the scholarship application, our scholarship team will go in and make sure that we're matching the applicants with the best scholarship for them. So it's a good opportunity for the students, but of course we always want to get the word out that yes, you've completed your FAFSA, but take the next step and fill out that scholarship application, either here at AACC or whatever school you're attending.
Our time is going quickly. Just some last-minute pointers of things they need to consider in the last 15 seconds we have left.
Absolutely. I think the big thing to consider is to make sure you start the conversation early. We want to make sure that the students are aware that there are deadlines out there, that the FAFSA opens October 1st, which is just around the corner. I think it's just over a week away. Mm-hmm. And just make sure you do everything as early as possible. We need to make sure that we get everything turned in and we have a complete financial aid application when you're ready to go.
Tara Carew, it was a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for your time, and we
you.
appreciate you joining us tonight.
Thank you so much.
Thank you once again. And remember, at any time, if you have a question about the FAFSA or financial aid for college, please call us at 1-800-222-1292 to speak with college financial aid advisors at MPT. They can help you. Believe me, they can help you. And like Tara, this group of advisors answering the phones do this professionally every day, and they've heard every question imaginable. Now they are waiting to hear your question from you. And this is a 100% free service brought to you by Pat Shoemaker and some of her team from Anne Arundel Community College. Thank you, Pat. We really appreciate it. And with her are folks from Trinity University, American Public University System, University of Maryland at Baltimore, Harford Community College, Johns Hopkins, Potomac, PNC Bank, and Reach for Success. Remember, folks, simply dial 1-800-222-1292 to talk to one of them. They can help. Isn't that right, everyone? I love it. The applause is fantastic. They are small, but they are mighty. Yes, they are. Well, joining us now is Gwen Thomas, the founder and executive director of Fresh Perspectives Seminars. Gwen, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Well, thank you for having me.
So the idea behind starting your nonprofit goes back a few years from what I remember when you and I were talking. It really started when you were looking for some money to put your son through college. Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. I was on the journey like so many parents trying to figure out how I was going to pay for college. And it dawned on me that the price was going up steadily every year. And so when I started my nonprofit, it was a result of having some success with my son in his journey and having success in finding scholarships to pay for college. And since then, you know, people were saying, Gwen, can you help my daughter? Can you help my son? So I started the nonprofit, in fact, a pilot program first. We were simply meeting at the libraries, coffee shops, and I was just sharing information.
And your son's been very successful, undergrad, graduate, all on scholarship money?
Absolutely. Approximately $500,000 in scholarships that paid for his direct scholarships at Johns Hopkins and Morehouse College.
That's wonderful. Now, through your efforts, your organization has helped students win more than $4 million in scholarships and fellowships. So what are some of the ways in which you assist parents and students?
Well, actually, it's up to $6 million now.
Oh, excuse me. Let's bring the number up. All right, Miss Gwen, you got to be braggadocious.
I have to, because I'm so happy to be able to help families. Yeah. Basically, I started a self-help book, The Parent Smart Guide to Sending Your Kids to College Without Going Broke. That's it right there.
There you go, perfect. So you started that book, and what information does it contain?
Well, actually, it has about $5 billion in scholarships from undergrad to PhD. And it's designed and with scholarships under various disciplines. But what happens is students often are intimidated by the process of applying for scholarships. So I try to put students at ease. I try to educate parents how to help their students, how to encourage them and keep them motivated, because oftentimes they're challenged with, well, we applied for a scholarship, we didn't get it. It takes more than just applying 1 or 2 times. And once you master the essay questions and find out how to write that scholarship with passion, then it comes over very well.
You say that you should start planting a seed with your kids early on. I mean, even start the conversation, because for you it's about developing a plan.
Absolutely, because far too many students are going to college coming back with debt and no degree. They're going to college and coming back with a degree that they never work in their field. So the plan actually starts with talking about finding a career where they can be gainfully employed, talking about, you know, what are the top careers according to the Department of Labor. Talk about first, how are you going to focus on that career? So that may start with an orientation to that field, visiting someone that could be your mentor, visiting someone that will allow you to have an apprenticeship, and getting them involved in nonprofit organizations that focus on engineering or focus on healthcare and that kind of thing. But planting the seed to say, family, we don't really have the money, or we have $50,000 and that's it. And so you need to have that bold conversation to talk about how they are going to plan and pay for the money.
Speaking of parents, you say that a lot of parents want their children to go to college, but sometimes maybe they lack a little understanding about the college debt crisis, or maybe there are other factors, right?
There's
What have
a lot
you
of
seen?
factors. Well, first of all, 50% of parents who have students in college right now have never gone to college.
Well, there you go. Okay.
Yeah. So they don't understand the whole process of FAFSA, and a lot has changed since maybe they went to college. So that's first of all. And so they take what they get, the student aid report that they get back from FAFSA, they take it as face value. It'll say, okay, your estimated family contribution should be $100,000. They look at each other and they said, how are we going to do this? But that doesn't mean that you have to go out and get a loan. And probably more than 50% of those parents go try to get loans. They do things like, max out their credit cards, get a second mortgage to pay for college. And in their heart of hearts, they want their students to go to college, but we've got to think differently. We've got to think out of the box. We've got to use things like scholarships and those other opportunities that are available. And sometimes parents don't know which way to go. That's why I wrote the book.
So you do boot camps and workshops and seminars all across the country. I mean, you're not even local to this area, I should say, and you've been very gracious to be here during the timing of our show. So tell me what some of the questions are, or some of the missteps that people are doing that you can maybe help them avoid right off the bat.
Let me just tell you, it's not just here in the United States, it's all across the country. This summer I had to go to Central America because we had students who are faced with migration issues who had come to the United States and sent home and saying, you can't come back. And so they're looking for ways, who will take my credits. I've often just had a desire to come to the United States to go to college. Now what do I do since migration issues have changed? So not just that, not just here in the U.S. So I try to work with families with boot camps, and I had one, in fact, this year at the Reginald Lewis Museum. And we had 100 families who came out, and we talked about all the things that they need to know and how to get charged and ready, because this is a busy time of the year. If you've got a senior, you've got to take this seriously and plan every week. There should be a plan.
We've got about a minute left. So if you're starting off, besides getting your book, what are the top 3 things that parents and students should do? The plan you mentioned, get started early, have the conversation. What other little tidbits you can give us without buying the book right just now?
Okay. First of all, have a plan of what schools you're going to. Have a plan of what your major is going to be, because you can't go, there's no more time to go to college and you change your major. That's wasting money. I tell families all the time, look at the options of going to community college. It's a smart investment. In many states, you can go to community college for free.
That's where we're standing at right here.
Absolutely. And it's sometimes people don't understand that. You simply get a $5,000 scholarship when you're done with the 2 years and move over to a 4-year institution. So that's number one. Look at the Department of Labor. What are the top jobs? No more considering jobs where you're not going to be gainfully employed at the end. And that is what happens to a lot of our families. They come back from college, or students come back from college, and they can't find a job in their field.
And last but not least, in the 10 seconds we have left, one more pearl of wisdom.
Oh, just want to make sure that families understand you have to plan and you have to think smart about it. And so that's what I want to suggest.
Gwen Thomas, it was a pleasure to speak with you. Thank you so much for your time, and thanks for that book, Sending Your Kids to College Without Going Broke. It's a great title. We appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Gwen.
Thank you.
And don't forget, if you have more questions about the FAFSA or financial aid for college, please call us at 1-800-222-1292 to speak with our college financial aid advisors. The group back at MPT, well, they're ready to help you. And speaking of help, Mario has more to tell you about the FAFSA. So let's go back to him and ways to pay for college.
When can you fill out the FAFSA? It becomes available on October 1st. And for Maryland students wanting Maryland State aid, it must be completed by March 1st. Now, in most cases, financial aid is actually awarded on a first-come, first-served basis. And so the earlier you apply, the better your chances are for getting a good financial aid package. If you submit your FAFSA on March 2nd, well, you might be missing out.
Deadlines are very important, especially when you're trying to apply for state financial aid. Also, deadlines apply when you're planning to attend institutions. Some institutions have certain deadline dates for institutional scholarships. So in the event that you don't stick to those deadline dates, you are ineligible for a lot of additional scholarship money that you can receive towards your college education.
Now you're staring at the FAFSA on your computer screen, and you see that you need the income information for both the student and parents. Now this can easily be found on your tax returns. But which ones? Last year's, this year, and who has their taxes done in October? It might sound confusing, but bear with me. You need to report your income information from the tax year 2 years prior to the academic year you're entering school. So, if you're filling out the FAFSA this October 1st to enter school next fall, you can use last year's taxes. Got it? If not, for more details, go to studentaid.ed.gov.
Once the student and the parents complete the information that's on the application, and the application is processed by the Department of Education, and once they've processed that information, they send it electronically to the schools, so the schools have a copy of that information and can reach out to students if they need any additional information.
So you just fill out the magical FAFSA form, and the money rolls in, and you go to college, right? Not yet. When you fill out the form, it tells you what your family can afford. Now, this is called the EFC, or Expected Family Contribution. Schools subtract the EFC from the cost of a year of education. The difference is considered your financial need. Now, each institution will use this information to determine your eligibility for federal and state financial aid programs.
It takes between 3 to 5 days for them to completely process your application, and then it's submitted to the institutions that you list on the FAFSA. In the event you want to review the information, you also receive an email copy of your FAFSA, and it's your time to go in and review it to make sure there are no errors that you need to update or change in order for your information to be accurate.
Starting to sound complicated? Don't sweat it yet. Like many software programs, the FAFSA has helpful hints that pop up where students and parents can click on for help.
There's a built-in edit check process in the application. If there are questions that appear to have been answered incorrectly, sometimes the application will go back and ask the student, is this correct, or are you sure about this information? You absolutely do have the opportunity to go back in and make updates or corrections to the application, even after it's been sent to those individual schools.
After completing the FAFSA, you'll find out if you're eligible for federal grants as well as state grants if you meet your deadline date.
The Maryland Higher Education Commission offers various scholarships and grant programs, such as need-based, legislative, career, and occupational. Students should visit our website to receive additional information on all of the various scholarship programs that we offer.
Maryland residents will also have to sign up for MD-CAPS, the Maryland College Aid Processing System. This is the state's financial aid system that allows them to process state scholarship applications. And it also provides you a way to monitor your aid status.
You can sign up for an MD-CAPS account at any time. I would suggest certainly doing it before you begin applying for any state aid. MD-CAPS overall gives students a snapshot of their activities with regard to the state scholarships that they've applied for. It shows when disbursements have been made and notifications of what they might still have as outstanding documents that are needed.
What do you do next? It's time to see if you also need to apply for other financial aid opportunities you researched earlier. By the way, you did do that, right? These include grants, scholarships, and if necessary, private or personal loans. When talking about student financial aid, a lot of words get tossed around as if everyone immediately understands them all. Scholarships, loans, grants. Let's start with grants. What are they exactly? Grants are free monetary gifts to help pay for a college education. And unlike loans, they do not have to be repaid. The most common type is the federal Pell Grant. Another is the Federal Supplemental Educational Opportunity Grant, which is awarded to undergraduate students with exceptional financial need, and Pell Grant recipients receive priority. Full and part-time students may qualify. Not all institutions participate in this program, so contact your college financial aid office for more information. There are also several other types of grant programs available from the Maryland Higher Education Commission, such as the Educational Assistance Grant and Guaranteed Access Grant.
The Guaranteed Access Grant is for Maryland's most needy students. It does come with an income requirement, so students and their families should visit our website to determine if they qualify. The state offers over 20 financial aid programs. The Howard P. Rawlings Educational Excellence Awards, as well as the Maryland Legislative Scholarships, are among our most popular programs.
Another way to get money for college is through scholarships. And like grants, they don't need to be repaid either. Scholarships are generally given to students with special qualifications, such as academic, artistic, or athletic talent.
Your Maryland delegates and senators have scholarship funds to award, but you must contact their office directly. If you don't know who your legislators are, you can find them online at mdelect.net.
Scholarships can take many different types of forms. You could have scholarships that are academic scholarships. It could also be based on an athletic talent, or also it could be based on a unique skill or merit.
There's a huge number of scholarships out there for you to investigate. They come from places like foundations,
hospitals,
the National Institutes of Health,
religious organizations,
technology companies,
the American Association of University Women,
the United States Congress,
insurance companies,
Department of Defense,
international groups,
the National Science Foundation,
engineering firms,
credit unions,
U.S. Department of State,
presidential programs,
seafood organizations,
the beef industry,
vegetarian groups.
And there are many more, so do your research. Where can you get a scholarship from? Let's see what this student found.
I'm Liz Winters, and I'm studying industrial organizational psychology. After I served in the military for 12 years, I returned to school and I had to figure out how to finance not only my education, but to manage my home finances as well. I had 2 children who needed to go to daycare, and I needed to find some other options. I used the post-9/11 GI Bill, and that covered my tuition and my books and gave me a little bit of money to pay my rent, but I couldn't use that money to pay for things like daycare. One of the strategies that I had in funding my way through college was to talk to people. I didn't know how to navigate this on my own, so I started networking on campus. I started finding my places on campus that I felt comfortable with and started asking the staff and the faculty that were sitting in those areas to really help me find my way through college and develop my career path.
Liz has never been afraid to ask for help. I think so often non-traditional students will be afraid to make waves, but instead Liz really asked for help. She sought out the Women's Center and became really close friend of the center and was able to share her stories, and as piecing it together, I was able to realize that a scholarship that we provide would be a really great fit for her and her family.
So the scholarship that I received was the Newcomb Scholarship. It was for returning women, which are defined as women who are older than 25 returning back to get their undergraduate degree. When I found out that the Newcomb Scholarship would allow you to use this money for whatever you needed it to be used for, I was really excited to know that this scholarship was actually perfect for me. I could use it for daycare for my children. I could use it for, gas money. I could use it for all of the extra little things that go along with funding your educations. For me, finding scholarships that addressed what I needed, I really didn't think they existed, but the more I looked, the more I realized that this scholarship really was looking to fill those gaps that I exactly needed to be filled.
I absolutely love it. Well, we are here live at Anne Arundel Community College for our special edition of Ways to Pay for College. Welcome back, everybody. Do you have a question about what you've seen and heard so far? If so, all you have to do is call 1-800-222-1292 because we have college financial aid advisors back in our studios at MPT right now with all of the answers. FAFSA, grants, scholarships, deadlines, you name it, they know it. So please give them a call at 1-800-222-1292. Joining us now is Maryland Higher Education Commission Secretary Dr. James Fielder. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it.
Good evening, Yolanda.
Your team is a key component to this entire process. So what's the latest news and how the state of Maryland can sort of, well, help students in this whole process?
Well, that's a tremendous question, and we're very fortunate in the state of Maryland to have a governor, Governor Larry Hogan, who absolutely understands and supports higher education and tremendous transformation power that it represents for the individual to follow a dream, for the family to carry that through to a career, and for our economy to stay on that vibrant edge.
Your website has a wealth of information listed on it every year, and it always has some updates and a few changes and tweaks. Give us an idea for folks who may not have visited, and shame on you, but give us an idea of some of the information that's contained on the MHEC website.
Yolanda, that's a great question, and there's a tremendous amount of information on the website. In this last year, so with the governor's help and support and leadership, we were able to finish our quadrennial plan, which means it's a 4-year plan for higher education with the theme of increasing student success with less debt, with 3 goals: access, success, and innovation. And under that, there are different objectives that have to do with very specific programs that we've been able to put in place. And again, with the legislative support, passed some legislation to create new programs.
So how can you help to ensure that this three-pronged approach that you have will actually work? I mean, can you give us an example? Do you have some kind of analytics or measuring system?
We have all the metrics, probably more metrics than you need to know about. But the website is a tremendous access point to go in and look at it as a portal for information. Use it as a flashlight to find your way forward. And one of the key points is that when you consider all the different programs that have been started in the last 2 years, Pathways to Technology Early High School College, it has to do with students being able in high school to complete an associate's degree and a high school diploma at the same time. So in 4 years, they finished their high school and an associate's degree. That's just one example. Passed last year was the Student Debt Relief Act, which has to do with the tax credit of $5 million. We've just received in the past 10 days about 11,000 applications that we're reviewing right now that potentially will be $9 million worth of tax credits issued to as many as we can provide it to. So there's a lot of innovation with the emphasis to increase student success with less debt.
So you've rattled off a bunch of numbers. Can you give us an idea of how much money the state of Maryland awards to approximately how many students statewide?
Statewide, we were reviewing about 150,000 applications. We award approximately 65,000 awards through the different scholarship programs, and it amounts to between 110 and 120 million if we add some of the new programs in. There's 17 different scholarship programs, so the students need to be thorough when they fill out that FAFSA, which was already mentioned. That's the entrance to the portal that gets them to the information.
There's a new update on the website called Smart Start. Can you tell me more about it?
That's another very innovative program that was announced by the governor in July with an executive order that has to deal with 3 different programs. The Smart Start is also a website. It's called Smart Save, which you can find on mhec.maryland.gov. 3 parts of that are Smart Buy. So first-time home buyers that have student debt of greater than $20,000 can actually go in and pay off their student debt in a form of a mortgage. A second one is for state employees in workforce shortage areas. They can pay off up to $20,000 of their student debt. And a third one, of course, has to do with the tax credits. So there's so many different things that we're looking at continuing to do innovatively.
We've only got about a minute left. I know that you have had plenty of state government experience. You've also worked extensively in the field of higher education. Can you tell me a little bit more about what it's like being at the helm of MHEC for the last few years under the current administration?
Well, actually, it's a wonderful feeling of vibrancy because we have a governor and an administration that totally supports higher ed and, again, understands the power that it represents for the state. We have a state with a very low unemployment and creation of jobs, which is tremendous. And we understand that the aspect of innovation is tied to risk and risk-taking. So we want our institutions to be nimble, to be able to match what's necessary out there. Without risk, there's no failure. Without failure, there's no learning. Without learning, there is no success.
I love it. I love it. And without risk, there's no reward.
Exactly. Well, that's exactly
That's another good one, too. Secretary Fielder, it was a pleasure to speak with you. Thank you so much for your time and taking time out of your busy schedule to come meet us here at Anne Arundel Community College.
It's a gorgeous evening here at Anne Arundel Community College and just love it.
We appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you once again. Thank you very much. Well, you can tell from conversations like these that there is a lot to digest when researching how to find money for college. So we try to cover as much as we can, but if you have more questions, that's what these people answering the phones are here for. They are all college financial aid advisors, and they are waiting to hear from you. So call them at 1-800-222-1292. Just like the FAFSA, this assistance is free. Free, people, so call them. Now, I can't say it enough at 1-800-222-1292. And while you're making that important call, we're going to go back to Mario at the amusement park.
And finally, the elephant in the room, or the amusement park. Student loans. This is the biggest question on student minds today, and it's really important. How much should you borrow, and will you be able to pay it all back?
When families are considering taking out a loan for school, they need to be looking at their overall financial situation. Think of it the way you would buying a car. Most people don't walk on the lot and say, well, we'll take any car at any price, no matter how much we borrow. Folks will make a value judgment. So you want to do the same thing when it comes to college. How much can you afford from what you've saved and maybe what you can pay out of your current earnings? How much debt might you take on? And then how much will that affect the future for you or your children if you've given up that income in the future because you have to service that debt? To get a sense of how it might affect you, calculate what your monthly payment would be. A lot of people don't do that. If I take on this much debt, what does it mean in terms of how much I'll have to give up in the future? So consider those trade-offs when you're deciding how much debt to take on.
The federal government provides loans for college through the Stafford Loan Program for students enrolled at least half-time. Direct loans may be subsidized or unsubsidized. Subsidized loans are need-based, so the government pays the interest as long as you are enrolled at least half-time. Unsubsidized loans are not need-based, and you are responsible for all of the interest that accrues on the loan while you are in school. Another is the Federal Perkins Loan, a low-interest option for undergraduate and graduate students. There's also the Federal Direct Plus Loan, a low-interest student loan program for parents of undergraduate dependent students. Now, with a PLUS loan, families can fund the entire cost of a child's education minus other financial aid awarded. Parents are responsible for all the interest that accrues on this type of loan.
I am Sonia Williams. I'm a fourth semester nursing student at Anne Arundel Community College. The fact that I came into it so late in life did worry me. I'm not young. I did have 4 kids, and I probably have 20 years on some of the kids that are in the program. So, I mean, it's a little scary. It's a little intimidating. Initially, I paid for college myself. I was only taking 1 or 2 classes at the time, so tuition wasn't a big burden. But getting into the nursing program, you have a lot more fees. You're taking more classes that may cost a little more money.
Just going to take a look at your feet. Did you find out if I'm supposed to have my digoxin?
So I've got financial aid, student loans, and then fortunately, Anne Arundel has a lot of scholarship opportunities. So all you have to do is submit a little questionnaire, and then the financial aid office kind of matches you up with which scholarship would work best for you.
Sonia Williams is not our typical student in that she really came to us with already having completed a bachelor's degree. And she completed the bachelor's degree, but then wanted to go into our 2-year nursing program. She was eligible to take out guaranteed student loans, but the combination of the loans that she's going to take out, the Maryland part-time grant that she's getting, and she's getting some institutional scholarships that are for the nursing program, then she's got a financial aid package that's meeting her financial needs.
There's no reason for you never to go back to school. I am very nervous about graduating, but my training, I think my schooling, everything I've learned through Anne Arundel's program has prepared me. So hopefully I will do well and keep my fingers crossed that I do.
Welcome Welcome back, everyone. We're here live from Anne Arundel Community College, and this is our annual Ways to Pay for College show. Did you happen to tune in late? If so, well, you've missed out on a lot of information, but the good news is that this show is not only streaming live at mpt.org/college, it will also be there for you to go back and review immediately after we're done. And do you see these people on your screen? Well, they are a team of college financial aid advisors waiting for your call at 1-800-222-1292. If you have a question about anything you've heard so far tonight, please call them so they can help you. Again, that number is 1-800-222-1292. So we've heard a lot about where to find money now, but what if you're a parent thinking about planning ahead for your children? Could you begin to save money for college that won't get used for years? Well, with me right now is Michelle Winner from Maryland 529. Thanks for joining us, Michelle. We appreciate you coming on out.
Oh, well, thank you, Yolanda.
Looks like we saved the best for last. No disrespect to any of our previous guests, but your tagline is start saving now, they'll be in college before you know it. The idea behind that is time is your greatest asset.
Well, you know, obviously the earlier you start saving for college, the more you'll have as the end result. But we just want to encourage folks, it's never too late. So even if you have a child that's in high school, even in college, you can start saving for your college expenses with a 529 plan.
You know, you and I were talking earlier about this sobering statistic about less than 30% of parents have even heard of a 529 plan. Can you elaborate on that, please?
Sure. So it's not just in Maryland, but it's a national problem where parents just aren't aware that you can save money in a tax-deferred 529 plan, and the state of Maryland offers two plans.
Tell me a little bit more about those two plans.
So the first plan that we offer is the Maryland Prepaid College Trust, and that essentially allows you to lock in today's tuition to be used in the future so that when your child is ready to go to college, the tuition and mandatory fees will be paid for at the college or even at a community college, like here at Anne Arundel County Community College. And then we also offer the College Investment Plan. That's managed by T. Rowe Price, and that's very similar to your 401k. You decide how much money you want to put away each month. That money gets invested in various portfolios, and then when your child is ready for college, you can use that money, and it can cover all college expenses, including tuition, room and board, books, supplies for in-state and out-of-state schools. It's a great deal.
So how much money do you need to kind of just get started?
Well, with a college investment plan, it's as little as $25 a month that you can get automatically put into your account from your bank account or your payroll. With the prepaid college trust, you're actually purchasing your tuition now, but you can purchase as little as one semester. You're not committed to having to purchase this 4 years, and you certainly can add on to your plan. So let's say you can afford 1 year now, then next year maybe you want to buy 2 years, or if you just want to start with one semester, you have the flexibility to do that.
And I guess it's just a personal decision in terms of deciding which plan works best for you?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, you know, it's a matter of whether you want to be told what you need to pay, right, or how much you want to decide how much you want to pay.
Let's talk about the state contribution program. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Sure. So the state contribution program gives families the opportunity to be eligible to receive a $250 or $500 contribution from the state of Maryland. There is an application process. You would have to open up a new college investment plan, or if you opened up your plan after December 31st of 2016, you are eligible to apply. The application period will open on January 1st of 2019 and will close on May 31st of 2019. So you'll have that time to apply for it. But if you do get accepted, you can receive that extra money, and that's a great jump start for your college savings.
You know, a lot of parents want to know, what if their children receive scholarship or grant money? What happens to the money that's been being built in their 529 plan?
Sure. Well, you have several options. If you have other children, you can certainly transfer that money to another sibling, or if you have a college investment plan, the plans can be used for adults. So adults can, if you wanted to go back to school, you could use the money for yourself. You can also use it for additional expenses that may not have been covered. Let's say you were able to cover your tuition, but you can still use it for the room and board or the books.
In the last 15 seconds we have left, what's some advice you might want to give to parents about 529 or just in general saving for college?
Well, my advice would be, educate yourself. Go to our website. It's a great resource, Maryland529.com. We have a great webinar on there recorded, and that'll give you the opportunity to learn more about our plans.
Michelle Winter, it was a pleasure to speak with you. Thank you for your time, and thanks so much for coming on out tonight.
Thank you, Yolanda.
We appreciate that so much. And before we get to the conclusion of our program, I'd like to remind you that our financial aid volunteers are still at MPT ready to take your questions. And they'll be there even after the show goes off the air. Grants, scholarships, loans, the FAFSA, ask them anything. And you can call them at 1-800-222-1292. Again, that number is 1-800-222-1292. Every year, even when the show is over, they help us out and take those last few phone calls, the ones that just trickle in just for you. So please, folks, call them now. Thanks to all of them and our group here at Anne Arundel Community College for their enthusiastic support tonight. I love it. Swoop the bird. They have been great, the Riverhawks. I love it. So what's the goal of this program? Well, it's to help you understand and find the best ways to pay for college. If you have more questions, please, I urge you, call the number on your screen or visit our website for more information. Well, we hope you have enjoyed this show. I'm Yolanda Vasquez. Thanks for watching. And now for the conclusion of Ways to Pay for College. Take it away, Swoop.
Have all your notes ready to go? If not, just in case, here's Mario's map of the ways to pay for college.
Before you make the trip, think to yourself, what do I want to do? And what college is right for me? Meet with a high school or college financial aid advisor. Go slowly down Research Street. The more research you do, the more likely you're to find different sources of financial aid. Organize your financial records, including your income taxes. Sign up for the Maryland College Aid Processing System. Fill out the FAFSA and all online forms accurately, consistently, and completely. Apply as early as you can for federal, state, institutional, and private funds. Meet all the deadlines. Respond as quickly as possible. And keep those grades up. Some financial aid can depend on it.
We know this was a lot to absorb, so every link we mentioned and even this program can be found on our website. Are you ready for your own set of twists and turns and ups and downs? Well, maybe not that many downs, right? Are you guys excited?
Yeah!
Absolutely. I'm Mario Armstrong. Good luck, hold on, and enjoy the ride. You got this now. You got this.
Ways to Pay for College is produced in cooperation with the Maryland Higher Education Commission and was made possible in part by a grant from the United States Department of Education. Additional support for this program was provided by the Eastern Shore Higher Education Center.
This program is part of American Graduate. Let's make it happen. A public media initiative made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.